died for a second there. It's unlucky. Now, is it gonna start the stream again on YouTube or no? That's the question. Yeah, so it started a new stream on YouTube. Alright. Oh, it was my fault. I kicked the internet cable. My bad. Ah, hey, Void Branch. You found your way back. Good. Yeah, I kicked the internet cables. That was stupid of me. What were you saying? Sorry, I missed it. About the simple stuff, simple programming stuff. Let's see if we can find a good place to call the crosshair script. It should be where we set the ramp already. So here we updated the ramp variables. Ramp damage, ramp energy. And these ramp damage multipliers, they are probably in a greater range than 0 to 1. Percentage ramp, that's a good one, because that's 0 to 1. We could retrieve percentage ramped. Something like that. And then back to our laser gun. The ramp section here. Ramp percent. Then we just need up here. Variable for percentage ramp floats. Here to 1. Okay, so we got the 0 to 1 ramp. And this update, it only happens when we're firing, right? It happens when the weapon is active. But it only increases while we're firing. That's how it works. Okay. Here we will update the RAM. With the RAM percent. Okay. Okay, so everything is set up to connect to the crosshair now. Let's see, did the ChatGPT create the crosshair yet? No, it didn't. Probably got cancelled when I kicked the cable. Have a look at this one. Crosshair new with laser RAM. Here we set the color. That means we could also tweak the color based. If we upgrade the laser and we change the laser color, we could also change the color of the laser ramp on the crosshair, which might be cool. I don't know. Yoko, welcome back. Background music got me feeling like a squire that is drinking his sorrow away in a local tavern after his knight died in battle. I don't know if that's a good thing. Are you getting depressed from the music? Oh well. So when we set the new value for the laser ramp color, we update the crossed air laser ramp materials. Okay. Okay. We have 3 settings here. Edge softness. Does rectangles have an edge softness? Or is that something specific for the shader? That is shader specific, okay. So these are existing ones, these ones we already had. This one we already have. Here, fill direction. So left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top. Crosser, laser ramp shader code. That's interesting. He adds the shader code in the script. That is gonna be... Is it not that long? Maybe here till here. It's pretty small. It might be fine if it's in the script actually. But that's something I didn't know you could even do. Like place the shader in the script. So then I suppose you apply this shader code to the different rectangles. Let's see how he uses it. Dot code. So you can write shader code and apply to a shader just like that. I don't see the real benefit of doing it though, because even if you make shader new, you could always have a reference to existing shader code and paste it in the same way. So it's, if anything, it makes it a bit more messy because you have all of this code here. I'll probably like make this into like a section though, that I can hide. But still, it's weird to have the shader code in the script. Okay, so this one I have to do regardless, even if I put the shader code directly on the crosshair pieces. This is how we well, it's actually a function, but it's gonna be how you inform inform the shader of the parameters of each piece. For example, you could say the left piece, you have to inform the shader that we're going to fill from left to right, or right to left, rather. What else do we do? We set up the shader material, we apply the shader. Then we apply the shader material to the crosshair piece. Then we give the information. So this script, we would only need this part. This we could delete the blue part if we put the shader directly on the piece itself. Here's the function that we want to call from the other script, right? Set the laser ampersand 0 to 1. And then what that will do is update the shader with the values it needs, right? I think it's a bit wasteful to apply the base color and ramp color and stuff every frame though, even though it's probably basically free to do. Like it's not gonna cost much. But we could update the base color and ramp color if we change the laser color when we level up the laser, for example, and only change the glow multiplier. And no, we don't have to change this either. Only thing we have to change is this. This is the only information the shader needs every frame. All of this is like a one-time thing, in my opinion. Now it would make sense if we have a laser that changes colors as it ramps up though. Then we could do it, but even then we might not want the crosshair to act like that. in some sense, it might be safer to apply the shaders in code, because if you ever make a change so that, for example, the crosshair pieces is gone from the inspector for a bit, and then you reapply them or something, they might lose the shader part, and you might forget to apply it again. But at the same time, code becomes more bloated and messier, right? So it's readability versus maybe a human mistake can happen in the inspector, you know? But what we could do though is keep all application of the shader materials and so on in a separate child script. Keep it more modular so that all the main functionality stays on the crosshair script, but all of this applying the shader to the rectangle pieces and stuff like this is moved out, so it's more readable, it's easier to see. did learn a bit about the shader language. It's like, for example, these uniforms, they're basically exports, the same as exports. And then you put the variable types in front here instead of on the back. But it's still, I can't write this shader language, man. I remember I sat down and I put notes on every single part of this. Over here. Here, shaders. Like I took all of these notes while trying to learn it, but it's so different, so difficult, man. Hey, what's your background? Did you study something game dev related? Not really. I did like 400 plus hours on Unity on my first game. That's pretty much the experience I got before I started this game. I had a month of programming in school, you know, and I had like a book about game design I read a little bit in, but yeah, it's minimal. Mostly just experience, self-taught. What about you, Astno? You have experience in game deving? Yeah, alright, so we do the middle way I proposed. So we will make a child node here. And we'll call it shader setup. Then we'll add a script. Crosshair shader setup. That. Flat. Shader setup, and then we'll just link to that from here. I see. Are you studying something now, or part-time job, or something like that? You don't have too much experience either, just some hobby stuff. You did a game jam with a friend? Game jams could be fun, man. I only did one as well. I did bracket game jam in autumn or something. I think I spent like 3 or 4 days on it. Made a little risk it for the biscuit was the theme. I might have taken it a bit too literal, having a little mouse trying to grab a biscuit off a mouse trap. And then you could upgrade like a roguelike to have a better chances of succeeding. Stupid game. So I guess you could say I am studying something, but I have 1 year of support from the state. Until January I have support from the state to try full-time game dev and see if I can earn money doing it. So I'm kind of on a timer. to make something useful. But the study material I'm doing right now is I joined the full-time dev course from Thomas Brosh, like a YouTuber, and mostly because I know he's someone that is good at marketing. He understands how to get wish lists and promote himself and stuff like that, which is very important and very hard part of game dev. Usually making the game comes easier because you work on it all the time. How much they pay me in Norway? I think before taxes it's like I don't know, maybe something like $3,000 before tax. I don't know. Living costs are quite expensive though. Yeah, every month. I pay like $1,600 in rent though, with my wife, and food and everything. So there's not that much left, to be fair. No, I don't have to pay it back or something, but I worked 10 years straight before I did this, so it has something to do with that. The fact that like I had a decent salary for many years before I tried doing this. Yeah, I'm very happy for the opportunity, so I'm trying to work hard. Hopefully I'll make something good. Got the Steam page up and running 1 or 2 days ago now. Need to make a good trailer and stuff. Need to get the demo up and rolling. But like, we're moving forward, right? Slowly. I haven't looked. I know I got 2 wish lists because my viewers told me. I'm not allowed to show Steamworks actually on stream, but I could have a looky and see if I actually got a wish list yet. I don't think there's any promotion of the I don't think there's any visibility on the Steam page yet though, because it doesn't have a demo or anything like it. It's just like the what should you call it? Just the page, there's nothing really attached to it yet. Let's have a look. This is revenue, no. Wish list. Wish list. I did in fact gain 7 wish lists and 1 wish list deletion. So wish list is something that I first have to grow over time by sending stuff on X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like shorts and posts, and replying to different kind of posts on X and stuff like that. just gradually increase it over time. And then there is gonna be a little bit of a spike if it does well during like a next fest, because I will join the next fest for sure with a demo in the future. Once that is done, I don't know what more I can do to get more wish lists. If I still haven't gotten many by then. But yeah, something like that is what I have to try and do. They're not gonna come by themselves. That's for sure. See, create crosshair pieces and hit marker pieces already that I have, right? Yes. We can say if we don't have a shader set up, we fix it, yeah. Did I make the export already? Did we call this crosshair shader setup? Crosshair shader. No, I didn't make it. Okay. Nice, he named it the same as I did. Okay. New color and glow multiplier. Yeah, seems good. Then we're gonna need new softness and glow multiplier here. Don't think we have those in the script already. Yeah, that's what I thought. Color we have, yeah. What's the music? It's like a relaxing music list. Here, acoustic. Relaxing music, no copyright, acoustic suite. Loop. So, what are you up to today, Asno? Are you working, or if I may ask? You don't have to answer, of course. Okay, so here we do this, and then we do the script by itself. Godot language, shader language. Okay, crosshair shader setup. Let's see. You should be working. You're the last on your last stretch of your PhD. Need to write on the thesis, and that's about it. Motivation comes and goes, man. Best tip I can give you is do 30 minutes right now, and if you don't feel like working on it after 30 minutes, then forgive yourself for it. At least unless it's like at the point where you have to. Yeah. If you have to, you have to. But like on normal days when I'm lacking motivation, what I like to do is do 30 minutes. And usually I get a little bit of motivation and I do a little longer than 30 minutes, often several hours. So for me, that works. I'm trying to get rid of a bad habit myself, where if I get interrupted during my workday, I use it like an excuse and I never go back to working. So, for example, if I have to go to the dentist at 12 p.m. and I get home at like 1 p.m. and I'm supposed to work until 4, I'm not gonna. Probably. That's what happens. But I'm trying to get rid of that bad habit. And it's the same story there. As soon as I get home, I just get ready and work for 30 minutes, and then usually I get back into it. So the crosshair shader should probably be like normal shader. Okay, so we do create a resource here. We create a shader. Then we call it crosshair ramp shader. Okay. That's where this part goes. GLSL. This shader, we can apply it, see here, yeah. Okay, I think we're getting there now. Set laser ramp percent here. Go back to our laser gun. We do crosshair, set laser ramp percent to this, ramp per and 0 to 1. I have to rename it up here. Ramp. So it worked pretty well right away, which is not common at all. We'll see. How was the glow though? Was it able to glow? Because it doesn't have emission. Emission is usually what you use to make materials glow. Question is it enough to like create a material more red? It doesn't look like it red. It just stays red. Okay, so first of all, the emission part is not really working. Second of all, we haven't started tweaking. We haven't made the overheating yet, and we haven't started to tweak the laser damage and ramp time yet. Have to see like how long I've been going, if it's time to take a break or if I should push through a little more. Let me see. Six and a half hours we've been going. It is a good time for a break, maybe. Okay, 15 minutes break and then about 2 more hours. We're gonna try to see if we can... First we're gonna see if we are able to make the glow happen. I kinda doubt that, but we can try it. Trailer. Task. So, see if we can make the shader apply actual glow, emission, light, or whatever, or other visual. We could also do a different color when it's fully ramped. Yeah. Could do a different color when it's fully wrapped. We could do lightly grow the crosshair until it overheats, for example. Okay, we need to make the overheat logic. Weapon fire at max ramp for X seconds. Overheat. Ramp dies down. Ramp changes. Ramp does not die down immediately. Stop firing. 2 to 3 seconds, maybe. Should ramp be decreased all the way down to 0? Question mark. That's also a design choice, right? Like, even if it overheats, you don't necessarily have to start ramping from scratch again. Could be that it cools down to 50% or something, but we'll see. I think it's gonna go to 0. Laser is supposed to be a bit more consistent targeting than the machine gun. Like, you ramp up and then as long as you keep hitting the enemy, you deal more damage. Yogurt. It's going fine. We made the machine gun. What did we do with the machine gun? We made the machine gun reload, and we increased the damage a lot. So it's like you would rather kill more enemies. Have more enemies spawn instead of having to hit the same enemy like 10 seconds. Well, these are bad examples because these ones you actually have to hit for a while. But yeah, slower firing, much more damage, and the reload. Feels better, I think. We're gonna try to make some changes to the laser as well, and I think we're gonna use overheating. Oops, I bought the wrong gun. So the first thing I did was I made ChatGPT write this script where we like increase. You see the crosshair gets red as we increase our ramp on the laser. It makes it easier to keep track of when we're about to overheat. Or when the laser is full. will be charged. Yes, exactly. So when the laser ramps up, it ramps the damage, it multiplies its damage. So at full ramp, when you're overheating, that's when you have the most damage. And if you stop shooting for a short amount of time, I think I'm gonna delay. I think I'm not gonna have the ramp go down immediately. I'm not sure. At least I don't want the mechanic of shooting this gun to be like clicking all the time to stay just below the max ramp, you know? I would rather have it feel really good to hit max ramp and that you want to fire until it overheats. That's the goal, I think. When it overheats, it cools down pretty quickly down to 0 ramp again, and then you can fire again. That's what I think. Because when I added the machine gun's reload, it's exactly as I thought. It feels really good to have a break from the consistent firing and actually just have a reload. And at the same time, it feels so good to just do a lot more damage while you're actually shooting, which we can do because we have lower uptime on the actual shooting, right? So that worked great. And I want to meet a similar feeling on the laser. Anyways, I was just about to have a break. Sorry for taking a break exactly when you arrived, Kurt. I don't think it's the first time it happens. And it's probably not gonna be the last, but I'm sorry regardless. Just a short one though, 15 minutes, then I'll be back and we'll try to work on this laser until like 3 o'clock or something. 3:30. And let's see how far we get. You take a break from work, so it's okay. Yeah, you have to, right? Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and maybe you're still here when I come back. If you want to. Did I tell you about that I got my Steam page up and running? I can show you afterwards if you didn't see it yet. I'll be back soon. Jo. There's two possible reasons why the glow doesn't work, right? It could be that it never reaches exactly 1.0. There might also be different things I have to apply for it to actually glow in 2D. Like I have world environment using things like SDFGI, but that might not apply to 2D elements. TM. Flow is not enabled, probably. That's probably first test, clamp, color. Make it environment, background mode, canvas. HDR threshold 1. Yeah, no, never mind that. Now we probably need a new child node of the laser gun, which handles overheat logic. Okay, so the process in the overheating node should simply cool down the weapon. And when it's done cooling down, we can do laser gun up here. It might actually not always be a laser gun. Let's call it Node 3D. Because we might reuse this script for other weapon types. Okay. So we should make variable in the gun root, which is also called is overheating. So laser gun next to his weapon active is overheated. Boom. False. Okay. We don't necessarily want to skip everything here if it's overheated, but we do want to skip anything that has to do with firing the weapon. We set is firing to false if we are overheated. So that will override any message we get from other clients saying that they're trying to fire their weapon. Okay. Now, we're gonna have to trigger the actual overheated. I think we should do that with a function called from the main script. On full ramp overheating, I suppose. We should receive the delta from the other script, so we don't have to like make anything in the process down here. Don't have to return anything. And what we want to do is overheating plus equals just thinking the weapon active thing. make sure that the ramp calculations is not hidden or stopped when we swap to the drill. We can very easily check if this is still running when we put away the weapon. I think it should be. Just do running here. Let's see. Overheating. That's a bull. Yeah. We want to do. Overheated amount, loads, 0.0, and then we want to do what var overheat threshold, load. Something like that. Here we reset the overheated amount. Well, we could wait to do that until here, I suppose. Doesn't really matter. Like, once it's overheated, it should not trigger this function again until it's cooled down. Because the weapon can't fire when the gun root is overheated. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the running thing. Let's go get our weapon here. Yeah, we see it's running down there. Broski. Okay, so it is stopping when we put away the weapon. That means with the current way I was planning to do it, it will stay hot when you put it away. Which may be a problem. What we want to do is actually have to set this firing false first, so that the ramp variables is firing. Where does it get that from? Yeah, we give it is firing. Okay, I get it. We get back these values. Yep. We have to set is firing before we update the ramp values. Yep. Like that. Always adjust ramp even if weapon is not equipped. Reducing ramp if necessary. Well, Norphilo, hello! Welcome, man. How are you doing today? Okay, I think it's good. Ramp variables. If ramp percent 1 we can do. Don't have a reference to the overheating node here. We need to pass delta here. Okay. You're fine. And how you hope I'm doing well as well? Yes. Yes, I'm doing well today. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Just working on the laser right now. Trying to make it overheat if it gets shot too long. Overheating node. Let's see. Here's the overheating. Break as target in the base of nil target instance. Ah, the target instance has to be set first. Right. Where do we set the target instance? Under aim. We have to aim. How are you learning Godot as well? Cool, man. Good luck to you. Hope you're having fun. Don't worry if you stumble across the way, just keep going. You'll get there. Do you have a specific project in mind? Something you want to try to create? I think we can, it is working, but I think we can put the overheat threshold a little higher. Duration before overheating. Overheating timer. Let's call it that instead. Okay. And then let's make an export to our ramping. Does it have a class? Probably not. It's old. Weapon ramping or just ramping? Weapon ramping, I guess. So, on full ramp overheating, we can do ramping node dot current ramp time 0. Will that work? Wow, you started yesterday, Void Branch. Cool. You're making old games in Scratch in Godot. Ah, so you have some games before. Was it Unity you used to do, or another one? Oh, current ramp time with a value float in a base of nil. Right. So I have to do this and this. Okay. Ah, there's a platform named Scratch. Okay. I see. So, a couple of things I want to do when it's overheated. I want to make the crosshair blue while it's cooling down. And second thing, I want the cooldown to be a bit longer. And I also want the ramping to be a bit faster. And that's probably here. Ramp. Ramp time, let's put it to 5 seconds. Could do lower as well, actually. Anyways, do you have some wise words to spare me? Well, I'm a beginner as well, you know, but make good notes of how you connect nodes together. Like, find out what's your favorite way of connecting a node, whether it's an export, whether it's through signals, or whatever you find that you like. And that's gonna help you a lot, because you often get stuck when you try to like get all the pieces to work together. If you have a clear best practice for yourself on how you connect the nodes together, that's gonna help you a lot. The language is pretty straightforward, a bit like Python. But if you are using AI to help you learn, make sure you ask the AI to always check the documentation and reference the documentation, both so you can click and read the documentation, but also so that the AI is not cheating and using old data. In order to not get stuck in like tutorials all the time, try to just start creating. And like if you get stuck and you can't use the documentation, Google or AI to like help you move forward, that's really the only point you should open a tutorial, I think. At least avoid looking at tutorial after tutorial after tutorial without actually working on your project. I think that's a bad idea. Then you won't remember it. Yeah. If you have something specific in mind, feel free to ask me and I'll try to answer. But as I said, I'm very new as well. now with the low ramp time, a long cooldown before overheating and before cooling down here, there should be an incentive to fire the laser until it's overheating, which is what I want. I want players to just blast it until it goes overheating. If you don't prefer to use AI, that's completely fine. It's like if you're a student, right, and you use AI, there's very different ways of using it. So it's fine as long as you use it responsibly and you keep learning. You can problem solve yourself. You can make pseudocode and everything ready, and then just ask, like, can you help with the syntax or this pseudocode that I gave you here? And then you learn the syntax after it gives you the syntax, stuff like that, you know. But it's not a bad thing to do it without AI either. You will learn to do things like navigate the documentation very well, which will help you in cases where AI would get stuck, right? Then you have the tools to find it yourself. So that's absolutely a valid approach. Changes before I try to apply the blue crosshair here. Let's test it one more time. Wow, you subscribed. I appreciate that, Nor. Thank you a lot. Have a nice dinner, man. Or lunch, whatever it is. Bon appetit! Indeed. Something like that, yeah. Okay, so look how fast it reaches full charge now. Then it stays there for like 5 seconds and then it turns up. You can shoot again. Now I think the duration is off is a little long, but it might feel a lot better when there's like animations and stuff showing the weapon cooling down. Anyways, I'm gonna decrease it a little bit, and then on the ramping section here, we're gonna make a timer, and we're not gonna let the ramp decrease unless it's been some time since it increased. That makes sense. So we are getting delta time here, so we can use that. Time since ramp increase We increase it by delta time. And then we say if time since ramp increase is larger or equal to time before ramp decrease, then we do this. And up here we set time since ramp increase is 0, like that. Now, a little thing I do sometimes is when I need these two new variables here, instead of trying to remember them when I go back up to the script here or copy paste both of them or something. This is a small script, but this is just an example, right? Instead of navigating far up, I would just write them right here. So I will do one of them and export at least. That is the time before ramp decrease. And that's a float, so let's just put it at the 3 seconds. And then we do the other one, which is time since ramp increase, float 0, 0. Like that. It's still red though, so did I do something here? There we go. Okay, and now we can just take these two and we can place them up here somewhere. Now we have ramp increase and ramp reduction. Let's test it. I don't want the machine gun. I want the laser. Laser gun. Okay, so if I just let go, now you see it takes a while before it decreases. And why this is important is that I don't want players to like shoot and let it almost overheat and then purposefully wait. And try to like edge the laser, almost overheating it. Alright. So the crosshair thing. Update the visuals with the color here. Do we have a crosshair color? Yeah. So I think all we have to do is update crosshair to this one. I think we just have to set this to a new color. I'm just thinking, since this is done on the server, what we might want to do is make this an RPC, pass the value, receive the color here, new color, and then use that new color here. I think we have to make it RPC then. Update crosshair color. Let's see here. We're gonna need to pass a color. Since it's on the ready, yes. This is something everyone does though. Everyone does that one. Crosshair color. Let's give it a go, right? But there's also probably more things that is not set up for multiplayer for the crosshair here right now. Yeah. So the machine gun, we added reload. I think that's ready for multiplayer. Yes, even though it was way too long. I don't know why I accidentally made it so long. Okay, let's see for the laser. Laser. Get the money, buy the laser. It's working, it seems. But what is not working is the display, the ramping. Let's see. That laser ramp percent here. What we want to do is make this an RPC, and then where we call it, which should be the laser gun. Here we do RPC call. Yeah, that's it. Now let's see if it works. Get the money. Get the laser gun. No, it is not. doing what it should. Why is that? Ah, here's the errors. Let's see what's happening. Set laser root. Uniform mode is authority. Authority is okay. So the owner of that node is considered to be the other player. I understand. Then the simplest fix, since I didn't make the multiplayer ownership whatever good enough in the beginning, we'll just do any peer here. Luckily for us, this is like a co-op game where we don't really care about cheaters, because if we cared about cheaters, we would have to properly fix it. Yeah, now it works, you see? Now it's getting red. Alright. Now, on the overheating part. Overheating. So like here, we swap overheating, right? Do we have a crosshair reference? No, we don't. Let's make one. And then we do crosshair. Is it just called color? Crosshair color equals, and then we do crosshair color on cooling down. So we should actually have a reset function for the crosshair color, I think. This is when it's overheated, and this is when it's done overheated. We should reset the crosshair color. And let's just make a note that we're actually gonna do that. With this to set default crosshair color back. Okay. And then when we set the crosshair color, actually, don't we RPC something as well? Yeah, we RPC the new crosshair color. So as long as the server updates the color, it should be fine. So what I'm saying is that we don't need this to be an RPC. Okay, and then when it starts to overheat over here, we do set crosshair color. To overheating crosshair color. And we have to create that one. Color. Let's just put it up here. It's overheated like that. Now we overheating crosshair color, put it to like something dark blue. So that it's cooling down, you know? All right. Cross there. So. Alright, crosshair color. Update crosshair color. Default crosshair color. Reset crosshair color. Then we do crosshair color equals default crosshair color. And then what was the last function? Yeah, I guess should we just call this directly? That's it. No idea if it's gonna work, but we'll see. So that's made an infinite loop, I suppose. Oh. Set crosshair color. What did I call it? Set new crosshair color. Set crosshair color. Okay. I don't quite know why the crosshair of everyone changes. I have to think about it. I would think that the RPC call like didn't affect the other players' crosshairs. Okay. What is authority? Ah, right. So still no. We have to do this one as well, maybe. New ramp color. Oh, I'm gonna go make dinner, I think. My wife is soon gonna go come home. Now there's like annoying error to find. It's like, what should the server call and what should the player call, and how is the color set, and yeah. Just have to sort out how all the pieces work together, and then this should be fixed. But it's gonna be like an hour of just print statements and trying to figure out how everything fits together and then sorting it out. So I'm gonna do that tonight, and I'm not gonna bother to put on the stream for that one. But tomorrow, I think the laser is so close to done that we'll finish it in no time tomorrow if I don't finish it tonight. So I guess we will look at VFX or something. Maybe VFX for the jetpack, the player, or something like that. Thanks for hanging out. It was nice to have some people show up on YouTube as well today. I appreciate that. Even got some subscriptions. That's really awesome. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.